In Greek mythology, there was a group of giants who had this unique feature. They were called the Cyclopes, and they were involved in some of the most epic stories and battles of the ancient world. They were huge and powerful creatures that scared both gods and humans. Did you know that there are 3 types of Cyclopes in Greek mythology, and that they are not all related to each other? Get ready, because we are going to enter a world where gods and monsters fight in a story of power, betrayal, and one-eyed wonders. The Cyclopes are one-eyed giants who appear in different stories in Greek and Roman mythology. They have a single eye in the middle of their forehead and are very strong. The Cyclops, or Cyclopes in the plural, were huge creatures with a single eye in the middle of their forehead. They were known for their strength, their skill in metalworking, and their appetite for human flesh. There are different types of Cyclopes in Greek mythology, and they have different origins and roles. 3 groups of Cyclopes can be distinguished: the Hesiodic, the Homeric, and the Wall Builders. According to Hesiod, a Greek poet, the Cyclopes were 3 brothers who helped Zeus, the king of the gods, by making his powerful weapon, the thunderbolt. According to Homer, another Greek poet, the Cyclopes were a wild and savage tribe of shepherds who lived in a faraway land. One of them, Polyphemus, was tricked and blinded by Odysseus, a Greek hero. The Cyclopes were also known for building huge walls with massive stones in some ancient cities, such as Mycenae and Tiryns. In a comedy play by Euripides, a Greek playwright, Odysseus and Polyphemus, are mocked by a group of satyrs who are half man and half goat creatures. In a poem by Callimachus, a Greek poet, the Cyclopes work as blacksmiths for Hephaestus, the god of fire and metalworking. Virgil, a Roman poet, also mentions the Cyclopes as Hephaestus's helpers in his epic poem Aeneid. He also seems to combine the stories of Hesiod and Homer about the Cyclopes. The Cyclopes have been linked to the island of Sicily and the nearby islands that have had volcanoes since ancient times. Some people thought that the Cyclopes lived there and that their forges caused the eruptions. Let's talk about each one of them in detail. Do you know who the first type of Cyclops was? They were the 3 sons of Uranus and Gaia, the primordial gods of the sky and the earth. Their names were Brontes, Steropes, and Arges, which mean thunder, lightning, and brightness, respectively. They were the ones who forged the mighty thunderbolts of Zeus, the king of the gods, and helped him overthrow his father, Uranus, and defeat the Titans, his elder brothers. These Cyclopes were also the assistants of Hephaestus, the god of fire and smithing, and they made many weapons and tools for the gods, such as the helmet of invisibility for Hades, the lord of the underworld, the trident for Poseidon, the ruler of the seas, and the aegis for Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war. These Cyclopes were loyal to Zeus and his allies, and they fought alongside them in the Titanomachy, the epic war between the Olympian gods and the Titans. However, they also faced danger from other enemies. Did you know that Apollo killed them for making the thunderbolt that slew his son Asclepius, who was a healer and a demigod? The Cyclopes also faced other threats, such as Dionysus, Eurytus, and Heracles, who killed them for various reasons. The Cyclopes were revered as great craftsmen and powerful warriors, but they also suffered from the wrath of other gods and heroes. Have you ever wondered about the second type of Cyclopes in Greek mythology? They were the sons of Poseidon, the god of the sea, and a nymph named Thoosa. They were called Polyphemus, Otus, and Ephialtes. Unlike their cousins, who were skilled craftsmen and allies of the gods, these Cyclopes had no laws or culture, and they did not care about the gods or other beings. They were savage and violent, and they often ate any strangers who came to their land. They lived in Sicily, a large island in the Mediterranean Sea, and they were shepherds who tended their flocks of sheep and goats. They had a single eye in the middle of their forehead, which gave them a fearsome appearance. They also had enormous strength and size, which made them formidable opponents. The most famous of these Cyclopes was Polyphemus, who appeared in Homer's epic poem, The Odyssey. He was the one who trapped Odysseus and his men in his cave and ate some of them. Odysseus managed to escape by blinding Polyphemus with a wooden stake and hiding under his sheep. Polyphemus then prayed to his father, Poseidon, to curse Odysseus and prevent him from reaching his home. This is why Odysseus had to face many perils and delays in his journey back to Ithaca. The story of Odysseus blinding the one-eyed giant Polyphemus was often painted on ancient Greek pots, The oldest example is a vase from Eleusis, made in the 7th century BCE. It shows Odysseus and his men stabbing Polyphemus's eye with a big stick. One of them is white, maybe to show he is Odysseus. The vase is in a museum in Eleusis. Polyphemus is usually sitting on the ground looking drunk. He sometimes has a cup or a wine bottle near him. He does not always have one eye clearly visible. This story and how Odysseus escaped with his sheep were popular for a long time, but not with later painters who used red figures. Another interesting aspect of Polyphemus is his love life. According to some sources, Polyphemus fell in love with Galatea, a beautiful sea nymph who was one of the Nereids, the daughters of Nereus and Doris. Galatea, however, was repulsed by the hideous Cyclops and rejected his advances, even as he serenaded her with musical instruments such as the cithara and panpipes. Galatea preferred a young mortal named Acis, who was the son of Faunus and a river nymph. One day, Polyphemus saw Galatea and Acis together in a cave and became enraged with jealousy. He threw a huge boulder at them, killing Acis and wounding Galatea. Galatea then used her divine power to turn Acis into a river god so that they could be together forever. Polyphemus was left alone and heartbroken, lamenting his fate and hoping for Galatea's return. However, not all versions of the story are so tragic. According to some narratives, Polyphemus's love is reciprocated by Galatea, and they overcome many challenges to be together. Galatea gives birth to Polyphemus's children, Gallus, Celtus, and Illyrius. The offspring of Polyphemus and Galatea are believed to be distant ancestors of the Celts. The third type of Cyclopes was not actually related to the other two types, but they were called Cyclopes because they built huge walls with massive stones that looked like they could only be moved by giants. These walls are known as Cyclopean walls, and they can still be seen today in some ancient cities like Messina and Tiryns. These Cyclopes were probably inspired by real people who lived in Anatolia, a region in modern Turkey, and who were skilled in masonry and engineering. They were also associated with some legendary kings like Sisyphus of Corinth and Proetus of Tiryns, who hired them to build their fortifications. Sisyphus was a cunning and deceitful king who cheated death twice by tricking the gods. He was punished by Zeus for rolling a huge boulder up a hill for eternity, only to see it roll down again. This is known as the myth of Sisyphus. Proetus was a king who ruled over Tiryns with his brother Acrisius. He was married to Antea, who fell in love with the hero Bellerophon. When Bellerophon rejected her, she accused him of trying to seduce her. Proetus then sent Bellerophon to his father-in-law, the king of Lycia, with a letter asking him to kill Bellerophon. The king of Lycia gave Bellerophon several impossible tasks, such as killing the fire-breathing monster Chimera, but Bellerophon succeeded with the help of the winged horse Pegasus. This is known as the myth of Bellerophon. These creatures represent diverse facets of human nature. Their stories are a blend of creativity, violence, and cleverness, showcasing the complexity of the human experience. Each type of Cyclops has its own unique role and significance in the rich tapestry of Greek mythology. What do you think about them? Do you have a favorite type or story? Let us know in the comments below. Smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos.